You, nephew, take that top card. When I die, I want my last words to be, I did it.
They just, you know, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
Steve Harvey has broken his silence. That's right, folks. The man who's known for his quick wit and charm has just dropped some serious bombs on Diddy. Recent footage has surfaced showing Diddy being taken into custody. But while Diddy's legal troubles have been all over the news, what caught everyone off guard was a viral clip of Steve Harvey. In this clip, Steve speaks openly about something most people thought he would never address: his long-running connection to Diddy.
But I learned real quick in Hollywood, you never see back end. They got a different type of arithmetic. It's like the music industry. The only people that you make true back end with is book people. Book people are the most honest people I've ever done business with. Books, they're honest. Music and TV, you're not gonna get no back end partner.
For many years, there have been whispers about Steve and Diddy's relationship, but now it's clear that Steve has been involved in Diddy's life and career. What's even more surprising is that Steve's involvement seems to go deeper than just business. But first, let's dive into the lawsuit that shook Hollywood to its core. Cassie's explosive case against Diddy. The allegations Cassie brought to light weren't just your typical celebrity breakup drama. They revealed a darker side of Diddy's empire, filled with and control. In her lawsuit, Cassie accused Diddy of years of claiming that he had power over her personal and professional life in ways most people couldn't imagine. This lawsuit also became a catalyst, opening doors to secrets many people thought would never see the light of day. One of the most unexpected consequences of this legal battle was also how it pushed Steve Harvey into the spotlight. With federal authorities now looking into Diddy's past, Steve's name came up in ways that made it impossible for him to stay silent any longer. Sources close to the situation say Steve was forced to cooperate with investigators once it became clear that his years of association with Diddy were going to come out in court. For those who've been paying attention, it's no surprise that Steve Harvey and Diddy had been connected behind the scenes for years. However, few people knew the extent of Steve's involvement with Diddy's dark world. Whether through business dealings or personal connections, Steve had somehow become involved in Diddy's life, and for years, Steve's role in this bad side of Hollywood remained under wraps. But there's more to this story than just business dealing. Diddy has long been famous for throwing lavish, over-the-top private parties packed with celebrities and surrounded in mystery. Stories of wild behavior, secret deals, and more circulated within Hollywood circles, but they never made their way to the mainstream. Steve was a regular at these parties, and for the most part, he was able to stay out of the headlines until now. New details suggest that these parties weren't just about having a good time. Diddy allegedly used these events as opportunities to collect videotapes of influential figures. Celebrities, politicians, music executives, if they attended Diddy's parties, they were in fair game, and Steve Harvey was no exception. So, Diddy had a habit of secretly recording his guests, capturing them in compromising situations. These recordings would then be used to gain control over them, and it's now believed that Diddy had something on Steve, something that kept Steve quiet for all these years. This also brings us to the idea of leverage, Diddy's greatest tool in maintaining his influence. For Steve Harvey, it's been suggested that Diddy's extended far beyond business. There were whispers that Steve had been forced into illegal business deals and personal favors, all to keep his reputation intact. But what kind of favors are we talking about? Well, that's where things get even messier. One of the most shocking parts of this whole saga is the potential connection between Diddy and Lori Harvey. The rumors have been out there for a while suggesting that Diddy had some sort of romantic relationship with Lori. Some people believe that Diddy used this connection as another way to control Steve, adding even more pressure on him to stay silent and protect not just himself, but his family. Steve Harvey may have built his empire on laughter and positivity, but behind the scenes, it seems like he was dealing with a much darker reality. With Diddy pulling the strings, Steve found himself in a position where he had little choice but to comply. And now, as more and more details come out, the world is beginning to understand just how deep this relationship ran and how long Steve Harvey has been living under Diddy's shadow.
Hollywood is the land of illusion. Most of us, man, are not making what y'all think we making. We just not, man, because we in that system. And it's not just cause you stupid or nothing, it's just you get caught up in the system.
Steve Harvey has always had this polished image. He's the family guy dishing out heartfelt advice on his shows, the motivational speaker spreading good vibes about success and perseverance. He built a whole empire on this persona, one that screams integrity, wisdom, and hard work. But behind the scenes, things were a lot messier than they seemed. What we didn't see was the tension brewing in Steve's life, especially as he got caught up in Diddy's world. Their relationship has mostly stayed under the radar, but it was always there, casting a shadow over Steve's perfect life. While he played the role of the ideal family man on camera, Diddy was allegedly pulling some serious strings behind the scenes. This wasn't just a casual friendship. Diddy had some serious leverage over Steve, which might have kept him quiet, even when it was risky. For years, Steve balanced the glitzy world of Diddy with his wholesome public image. But why didn't he break free sooner? Why did he stick around someone whose legal troubles could have taken him down? The answer is simple: he felt trapped. Talks of secret recordings and Steve's involvement in Diddy's wild parties suggest he had little choice but to play along. The risk of losing everything, his career, his family, was just too high. For Steve, staying in Diddy's orbit might have seemed like the safest bet. But everyone has a breaking point. For Steve, that moment came when Diddy's legal issues escalated. Suddenly, Steve saw a way out. Faced with the chance of being dragged down with Diddy, he decided to cooperate with the FBI. After years of being under Diddy's thumb, he finally had a shot at freedom. By working with the authorities, Steve shifted from being a victim to a survivor of Diddy's control. It was a surprising move that showed a new side of him, a guy who had been through a lot and was ready to reclaim his power. Recently, a viral video surfaced of Steve opening up about everything he's been through. In the clip, he talks honestly about the toll Diddy's control took on him. His words are raw and reveal a side of Steve that fans rarely see. He shares the emotional and mental strain, the fear of losing it all, and the burden of keeping these secrets for so long.
Hollywood is a system. They have an ingrained system out there, man. You come out here, you get an agent. Then a lot of them got a manager too. And then when you sign a contract with a Hollywood attorney, they 5% of your contract for the duration. So if you sign a 5-year deal, they get 5% of your money for 5 years. And everybody falls into that deal, man, because they lock you in. And then what's crazy, what I found out is not a lot of agents that's beating the bushes to procure you employment. They simply list you on their roster, and when somebody wants you, they go online and your name is under this agency's roster, and they call these people. Now, because they picked up the phone, now their ass is in for 10%. Now, when they come in for 10%, then you want to go do the deal, they pick up their phone and call their favorite lawyer, who is their boy.
Now that Steve's connection to Diddy is coming to light, some people see him as a victim of Diddy's manipulation, while others are questioning how much he really benefited from that relationship. There's no doubt that Steve's career flourished during his time with Diddy, and people are sharing their thoughts on this whole situation. A person commented saying, "It's too late now for Steve. Steve knows what was going on. If he had anything to do with this mess, he needs to be charged, as well as everyone else that's involved in this mess." Another one wrote, "Can't live two lives, it will come out. Steve Harvey, there's a cell waiting for you." A third person added, "Harvey, we aren't buying any more of your BS." Well, Diddy's legal troubles are heating up, and it looks like his once mighty empire is starting to fall apart. He's sitting behind the bars. What began as a few whispers has turned into a full-blown battle that could take down not just Diddy, but a bunch of people around him too. As more details come out, more people are stepping forward, and the list of accusations just keeps getting longer. Diddy's success used to seem untouchable, but now it feels like everything is closing in on him. And it's not just Diddy feeling the heat. Steve Harvey and a bunch of other celebs who were close to him are also under the microscope. The ongoing federal probe suggests we've only scratched the surface of what could be one of the biggest celebrity scandals in a long time. For Steve Harvey, being linked to Diddy right now is just adding to the pressure. As new info comes out, it's becoming clearer how much Diddy influenced him and others in his circle. The stakes are high not just for Steve, but for anyone who might have been involved, whether they knew it or not. While Steve has decided to cooperate with the authorities, it feels like this story is far from over. As investigators keep digging, we can expect even more shocking revelations about Diddy's dark web and the famous faces connected to it.
I just teared up, and he looked at me and he said, "You gonna be all right, man?" He said, "Come on, man, you here now."
Yeah.
I said, "No, man, I ain't never in my life thought I'd be here."
Yeah.
He said, "But we here now.
Yeah.
We here now. You be all right." Go on, take a tour, take a look around. I ain't want to leave, because I know after he leave, I ain't going back. So.
Looking back at Steve Harvey, it's becoming obvious how he has struggled with Diddy's control over the years. He managed to keep up his public image, but now the truth is coming out. Steve's choice to finally speak up might be because he realized Diddy's hold on him was slipping and he had nothing left to lose. But was he just a victim of Diddy's manipulation, or did he benefit from being in Diddy's circle? That's a question that's going to hang over his career. Steve's reputation has definitely taken a hit, but is it beyond repair? His decision to work with the FBI might help him look better, showing he eventually did the right thing. But the fact that he stayed quiet for so long raises eyebrows. Could he have distanced himself from Diddy before things got out of hand? And if he could have, why didn't he? These are the questions people will keep asking as more details about Steve's involvement come out. But here's where I turn it over to y'all. So do you guys think Steve Harvey was a victim of Diddy's, or was he part of his circle? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and stay tuned for our next video where we'll dive even deeper into the fallout from Diddy's empire. More names are sure to emerge, and we'll be covering every shocking detail right here.